Good Sunday morning to everybody out there in the YouTube world. This is Donnie coming to you from Central Texas. This morning I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to do Sunday morning and coffee, doing a final on my 41 Plymouth that I built as a Pro Street. It was an AMT model, the 41 Plymouth with the Coca-Cola, and also I used parts from the 67 Chevelle to make it a Pro Street, and I think she come out pretty good. There's probably things I could have done better, and there's things I think I wished I had done different, but for a chef queen, she will be alright. As she spins around, the blue on her is the Tester's Extreme Lycra Star Spangled Blue, and the way I painted her was I cleaned the body up, and then I put a coat of Tamiya Surface Primer on it, white. Once that's done, I kind of sanded it down pretty good and made sure everything was smooth. And then I painted it with 3 coats of Extreme Lycra. And then I let it set for a couple of days, and I sanded it down, wet sanded it. And then after I wet sanded it, and the next day I sprayed 3 coats of TS13 on her, and she shined up pretty good, and I polished her up. I used that Novus 2 on her first, and then I used Maguire cleaner and wax on her. So that's how I got it to where she is now. A little more about the car and how I did it. I used the chassis out of the 67 Chevelle on the bottom and down there. The only thing I really had to do to it was I had to shape the back part back here to fit the curve that's in the body on the Plymouth. And then I added a strip of styrene in here, about a 1/8 inch to a 1/4 inch in here. I think I added a little too much because my rear tires set a little too far back, but next time I'll do it better than that. And then I had to sand off the sides of the chassis on both sides to get her to fit down in the bottom. And once I got that done, she fit down in there pretty good, and the interior fit pretty good. And then I used the 396 out of the 67, and for some reason when I put the motor in, I set it where the cross members is on that chassis, and I think it set a little bit too far forward for this body. But anyway, I had to put manifolds on it instead of the headers and create my own exhaust system, which I used this styrene stock for that, round stock. And then on the get that muffler look on here, I went a little bit bigger styrene and slid it on there, and then I used the heat shrink to shrink it down, and I picked that up from Mark Batson over there. And once I did that, I said, that looks pretty good as a muffler. And then I drilled out the holes in the back here and cleaned her up, and that's how I built the exhaust system on her. And in the engine compartment, I took the support bracket for the radiator from the 67 and shaved off the left and right side some, and then I shaped a curve in it so it would fit up under the fender, and that worked pretty good. And since I couldn't get the fan on the front of the engine, I put an electric fan up in the front on the support bracket, and it's in there, but you can't see it from the top or the bottom, but she's in there, so she'll be cooled off. I also wired it, and I used blue spark plug wires. Then the interior on it, I used the 67 bucket seats that come with the 67, and I painted the seat belts red on it, and I painted the rest of the interior gray. The dashboard is painted black, and the steering wheel I used from the 41 Plymouth, and it worked out pretty good in there. You can see it all sitting in there if I get it turned right, I guess. Then back here on the back, the body had a opening right along here and dip down for the fenders, but that opening was for the rear pan to come out to the bumpers with the bumper brackets back here. Well, I did away with all that, so I had to fill that opening in, and it took me some styrene. I don't remember the thickness of it, but I would cut it and put it in there and then sanded it down smooth here, and then along here I had to use some Mr. Color body filler and fill it in and sand it back down. I think I could have done a better job on that too, but it's okay for a Chef Queen. And there you go. That's the way I got this thing the way it is now. The hood fits on it pretty good, as long as I let my shaky hands do the work. And I think the next time I build this car, I don't really like the headlights the way they are. That's the ones that come in the kit, but I'm going to find some next time that's more round and do away with this top part right here. Yep. I could have shaved them off and stripped them and repainted them chrome. That's what I'll do next time. But other than that, that's a pretty good car. I'm happy with her. And I'll put her on the display case with the rest of my models. And I learned a lot doing it this way. And to tell you the truth, the only way you're going to learn is by doing it. And doing it, you're going to make mistakes. And you're going to learn some things. And you're going to do some things different. And I want to say thank you to all my subscribers and all the ones that give me a thumbs up and a comment. I really appreciate you. And I'm going to call it a day and get out of here. So, bye. Take care. Have a good weekend and enjoy life. Donnie out.